Most businesses miss out the most important step when it comes to financing their new car. In a lot of cases, they're buying cars under a low-doc commercial finance structure, which means the lender's not doing any servicing calculations and understanding whether you can afford the loan. They're requesting that you declare that you can afford the loan. And in most cases, clients aren't doing the correct calculations and they aren't figuring out exactly how much they can spend. The best way to start would be to look at what your income is on an average month, not your best month, because when excitement's really high and you commit to the purchase, it all sounds fun, but then if you have an average month, you want to make sure that you can still afford it. So what's your income on an average month, less your expenses, and whatever your profit is within that month is a little bit of that, not all of it, can go towards your new car loan. So that's where you can start to look at how much you can spend and then maximising the value out of that budget. When you're buying a car personally, there's so many different ways you can finance the car. But the most important thing to understand is what you really want out of the loan, if you want to make extra repayments, if you want to pay off the loan early, and the type of vehicle that you're buying. In most cases, the lenders will price your loan based on the asset type and also your profile. So whether you go for a car loan for a newer car, a secured personal loan for something a little bit older, or an unsecured personal loan, a car that's reasonably old and potentially a private sale, will all impact your rate and the flexibility that you've got within the loan. And with 25 to 50 loan products plus that are out there in the market, it's really important to understand what you want out of the loan before you go searching, because then it will narrow that 25 to 50 plus lenders down to a small handful. If you're thinking about buying a new or used car for your business, there's a couple of things that you really need to consider. The first one is the tax structure or the loan structure. That's probably something that can be discussed with your accountant because that will impact the tax part of it. When it comes to the finance, lenders really do prefer to finance newer cars. We often recommend as brokers to buy new cars because lenders believe they are often well maintained because they're sold with service plans, they're generally in warranty, and there's a lot more products available at better rates to borrowers. If you are buying something that is used because it's got a particular fit out or for a specialty use, then we would suggest purchase a car that's no older than 2 or 3 years at the time of purchase. So many business owners get into a position where they have debt that they don't understand. They can manage it, they can make the repayments, but it feels like it's out of control. So the most important thing when you're getting into business or you're wanting to sort of restructure and clean up your debt is to understand what your debt stack is. And we call it a debt stack because it starts with what debt do you have in your business and what's the purpose of that debt or that line of funding. So if you're an apprentice starting out in your business, you probably don't need an overdraft. It sounds attractive, sometimes the rates are good, but they are very self-managed. And when you don't understand the cash flow of your business to start with, then that can very quickly get out of control. So a car loan is probably the best place to start. And if you need some sort of credit, maybe a small credit card, but working up to the likes of an overdraft or debtor finance or supplier credit lines are things that shouldn't be for a beginner. That's more of an experienced business owner's sort of facility. And these are the things that are really important to understand before you go into getting too much debt.